It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, all right. Hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Had to go and pay off my little punishment for losing Do It Bitch today. So Denny's and I went to the racetrack gas station across the way and sang a rendition of Christmas Shoes.
I personally thought it was a very moving performance, although you did have to compete with the radio that was on.
Yeah.
Or the music that was on in the background.
The people that were working there were way into you.
Yeah.
The people go shopping there, not so much. But the employees really dug your act.
They did, yeah.
It almost felt like they knew we were coming.
They've
were
seen us
ready.
before, yeah.
They know we walk in like goofiness is about to happen.
They were digging it.
We rolled in deep, too.
Yeah, they definitely entertained it. So it was a lot of fun. We had everybody there, even Evelyn. So
Yes, Evelyn was there.
I didn't even realize she was there. I was filming, and she was walking in the background. I go, oh, she's giving us a look. That's a good reaction. Oh, it's Evelyn.
Yes. So we'll have that full video. You can see that a little bit later on. Hopefully today we'll get that thing cranking as soon as we can get it all together. So that's happening. Then we'll have the real rendition. We'll try to get Suits on here in a couple days, right? Maybe on Thursday.
Yes. He said he's ready. Just give him a little heads up. So you let me know when you want him, and we'll schedule it for sure.
See how Philly's treating them.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty happy.
Okay, they'd be pretty cold. Or at least I'm sure he's had a couple tastes of it.
Oh, he's got to be chilly. As a Florida boy who's never lived anywhere but Florida.
Yeah, how he's enjoying his first winter.
He is not. Yeah, it's tough. That kind of weather, that's tough to just get out and go pee in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got an email here from Kiki, and she said, doesn't Jaybird today look like he's going to make some hot cocoa and read us 'Twas the Night Before Christmas?
I'd love to do it. You tell me when you want to do it. Come on over.
You got on no cap, which that stands out. You got on some red rimmed glasses, a scarf, Christmas sweater.
My scarf's a little fucked up.
What's the matter?
It's just, it's a little long.
It's a Florida boy who doesn't really wear a scarf very often.
I can tell you, I do struggle with a scarf. There we go.
There you go. There you go. We were talking about how many people are now considering rebuffing some Christmas traditions. Some people aren't into all of the song and dance, and they're like, yeah, just because our parents or grandparents did it this way, we kind of want to maybe try some new little traditions. In the Ralston family, we've kind of tweaked it up a little bit. We got our own little thing going on. Yeah, we don't do the traditional food. We go to Flanagan's and get ribs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I love it because it's really the only time of the year where I go crazy on the ribs. So I don't allow myself that privilege very often, but I do on that day. It's a ton of fun. It is great. Yeah, so the Queen and I, we start off and get some cocktails in the morning.
Fuck yeah.
Go over to Flanagan's and pick up ribs. And we always play that the classic rock game because they always play classic rock on there. And my wife doesn't know it that great.
You can get a win.
For 20 plus years, I've been trying to teach her. So the song comes on, and then I see if she can, name the artist. She's gotten better in 2 decades.
Okay.
Yeah, she's still not great. So.
You kind of feel bad beating her if you guys play against each other.
Well, I mean, I would win. It's not even close. So I see if she can get it. So she gets, so many points. So we got our own little tradition. So I think that's kind of cool. And Chris said, yeah, I'm kind of over the whole family get together for the dinner tradition. So this year, the family's getting together to watch the kids open gifts. And then they're going back to their house. I'm just over the whole Thanksgiving 2.0. So maybe I'm going to do a cookout and a bonfire and call it a day. That's fantastic.
You're still celebrating.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's really what people were saying is because it is. When I was a kid, we always had the traditional. We'd have turkey for Thanksgiving. Then you'd have Thanksgiving. You'd have turkey again for Christmas. I just never was a big fan. And not to mention, too, I'm not sure my family cooked great turkey. She was always dry. It was just, I didn't like it.
Turkey.
Hated it. So I always kind of dreaded it. And then, yeah, when they hit you with Christmas with the same damn meal we had a month ago, I was like, and then I had 2 weeks of leftovers. I'm like, ugh.
We were
not feeling it.
We were straight up Italian all the time. Do the Sinicki's stay with a certain menu, or do you guys mix it up?
We mix it up for Christmas. So Thanksgiving's always the same. But my mom saw all the posts we put up at Thanksgiving, and she's like, oh, if you could, just duplicate everything you did at Thanksgiving for Christmas when I'm there. And I was like, oh, my God.
Mom, we might be getting Stofers this year.
I don't know if I'm having it in me, Mom. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
you put a lot
recovering
into
from
it.
surgery.
Right.
I cooked for 4 days for Thanksgiving.
Does it have to be exactly, or can we kind of make some?
Delivery Chinese.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun. I love being with the family. That's just my favorite thing in life. And so just to be with them and you don't put any extra pressure on yourself, that's the one thing I see some families that really stress out about everything being perfect. And to me, it should be imperfect. It should be, the only core thing is let's just all try to get together and not piss each other off.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the core of it, and I think I'm definitely not cooking because I don't want to.
Yeah,
I
you
just
should.
did all that.
Then don't do it then.
I'm gonna order takeout.
Yeah.
Unless you need some help in the kitchen. Oh, no, don't commit, Bird.
Do you want to do it? Because my mom already told me she wants to do a pool party at your house.
That I can facilitate. We can make that happen. I don't know if I
saw your videos of your dinosaur garden and your pool, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" She goes, "Jay
Paradise.
Bird's rich."
It's paradise. Yeah.
She said, "Jay Bird's rich. Can we
He
go
is.
to his house for a party?" I said, "Absolutely, I'll ask."
Yeah, no lie. No cap. Tell Linda no cap.
no cab. Yeah.
She won't believe it. She won't. When she sees your house, she would just, I don't know, she might fall over.
It's
It's a lot.
it's a lot of weirdness.
She's never seen anything like that.
Steven said, yeah, we're just going to do prime rib roast classic for Christmas dinner. Yeah, it sounds great. And what I loved was the concept, I never even thought of it, but a huge breakfast buffet. So if you're going to eat twice in the day, you set it out with the waffles and pancakes and whatever the hell you want. If you had your dream breakfast.
Oh,
That's
Lay that
gorgeous.
you know what? Who gives a shit? Let's do waffles and pancakes.
Yeah.
You know what? Make it a three-peat and French toast.
Oh, that sounds so
Yeah,
yummy.
You know, all the
have it all.
options.
Yeah,
Can we have eggs Benedict too?
Shit, yeah.
Oh, it sounds so good.
that'd be fun.
And a big, huge pan of bacon.
Yep.
Look, and throw some sausage links on the side.
Minis.
Whatever the shit you want.
Oh, I love the minis.
Yeah.
That's
Feel
how
all
it
that.
should be on Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of fun. To me, Christmas got rebooted when he kind of threw out all the old traditions, and it's fun. It's easy. And yeah, Josie said we're just doing fajitas, carnitas, tamales.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love. That's kind of been a little tradition. I hope we get the Christmas tamales again. So it's the only time of year I get those, and those are fantastic.
I like that kind of Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would be so pumped if I went over to someone's house and that was the menu.
Yeah, right. I love that. Hit me with something new. Well, a lot of people are still in awe about Virginia's big win at the Moose Lodge on Sunday.
I know. Virginia's still in awe.
$150,000 jackpot.
I really got in awe yesterday when I called my tax guy to find out what the tax implications of said winnings would be.
Smart that you made that call though first. That's what you got to do, and it's pretty significant.
So what? It's not as cool of a win as you thought?
Yep, exactly.
How cool of a win is it?
Look, it's still very, very cool, and this will change Christmas for a lot of people
Is
that
it
I
almost
love.
half?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little more than half or a little less than half?
Well, I'm sharing it with the girls that were there with me. So I'm not taking home the whole pot. So the pot is going to be small because of taxes. But then it's going to be even smaller because Virginia gets only a quarter of it. And Virginia still has to hold all the tax implications of,
I was going to say, yeah, that's the one thing that you don't want to get stuck with.
well, I am.
So do you think you're going to do you think you cleared 20 grand?
No.
Less than?
Yes.
This story's not as impressive as
I
it once was on
know.
Monday.
I know, right? When the math was mathing yesterday with the tax guy, I had a little dose of reality.
It was, yeah. The Queen and I we were figuring that out. We're like, yeah. So how much? I'm like, it's still awesome because look, I mean, it's a great family vacation or something like that. That you're gonna have a nice something sweet that you wouldn't normally have.
Of course. And I'm
Yes.
very grateful. And
Right.
look, some of my best girlfriends that I know can really use this money were there with me, and
Yeah.
we ride together. I split everything evenly with
Mm-hmm.
them. So that, to me, is the most beautiful part because one is a single mom, and the
Yep.
other two
Okay.
are very hard-working bartenders that pull double shifts all the time and work extra hours and work their fingers to the bone slinging drinks and deserve to have a little extra nest egg for Christmas.
16.5?
I don't know about that yet. I don't know.
We need numbers.
I need numbers too, so they're being crunched as we speak.
Okay.
I mean, look, let's not sneeze at any kind of windfall in life is amazing.
Exactly. It's just
But it's just-
tax man.
The headline was, I want $150,000.
That's the headline. And that's an impressive headline. But then, yeah, there's always the headline, then there's reality. As you get down into
Right.
the story, you're like, okay, wait a minute.
Yesterday was all like puppy dogs and rainbows, and we won the jackpot. And I knew it wasn't 150. I knew it was, 60% of 150. But then, as I started realizing tax implications, being the sole person claiming all this money, but yet distributing all this money.
Yeah, if you didn't have to split it, it would still be impressive because you're probably going to
Yes.
sit around 70 grand or between 70 and 90, right? If you didn't
No,
know,
less, definitely less.
fucking hey, Uncle Sam.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just something about when you get when you are given a gift,
Right.
the government gets the real gift.
They get a different tax on your windfall.
Just accept that you're getting. So if you win 10,000, you're getting 5,000 for the most part. It's
And-
pretty much half. It sounds like.
It counts towards your income for that annual year. So,
So
it
they-
may also affect what tax bracket you're in.
They make it really uncool when you win.
They do. They really take the fun out of winning.
It's not cool for me, but it's really cool for my 3 girlfriends.
Okay. Oh,
So I'm going to focus on that.
Diana said Magnolia isn't the only full moon sensitive person in the family. Sunday was a full moon and Virginia won that jackpot.
Wow.
Witchy powers for the win.
It was a full moon over the weekend.
Wow.
Okay, how about that, huh, Virginia?
It was just the weirdest thing, how everything just played out. I'm just befuddled.
Greg in the 772 said, congrats, V. So stoked for you. There is a moose lodge in the PSL. You should come up and visit. The Fort Pierce moose is pretty nice, too. Huge outdoor patio. I have won a few moose bucks myself. Just enough to cover our bar tab, but still. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the Moose plays lots of games.
They do, okay.
The Moose always
Fun.
has games going on. There's a 50-50. There's the Queen of Hearts. Then there's games you can play with different like sport teams and college and pro.
Wow,
and,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was the big thing back in the day when I was going to the Moose a lot. And we're talking back when we were at Wild 95.5, maybe 2011. And my buddy Klepto goes, they got the best games and you can really win a good amount of money if you go to the Moose.
You can, because when you think about, okay, you play the lottery, you're playing with like the worst odds ever. But at the Moose Lodge, your odds are not that bad.
You know what? It reminds me, too, of you can't win if you don't play something. And it
Yeah.
makes me want to go out there and just start playing little games again.
That's what it was. That was what the Queen said to me last night. She's like, she's out there playing the games. That's what's amazing. I said, yeah. Got to go out. We got to go out and play the game, Kim.
Well, let me know if you want to join the Moose.
Yeah.
Here's your Moose
It sounded fun.
membership application. I'll sponsor you guys. I'm bringing like 5 or 6 people in with me. So all the girls that were with me on Sunday, they're all signing up to be Moose. My other friend Taylor, I'm paying for him to be a Moose as his birthday present.
Okay.
I just am a little nervous to go to the Moose because I'm afraid some disgruntled Moose people who did not win wants to kick our ass now.
I don't think that's...
She's ruined it for all of us.
Well, she flies in on her broom 2 weeks in, winning 150, celebrating pretty much right in front of them, dancing on their graves.
Yeah.
They were probably like, fuck this lady.
I do have very grainy video of the win if you want to see
Yeah.
it. Somebody behind us was taking video. I didn't even realize. I was just so caught up in it. I didn't even take video. Dumb me. And it's very grainy, but I have it. I'll send it to you.
Okay. Melody with a little bit of advice here for you, Jay Bird. I know that you got somebody else trying to convert you, but it's not the Moose.
Yes.
She said, I am a Jehovah's Witness, and Jay Bird can just say, I appreciate the visits, but I'm not actually interested. But if he wanted to get rid of the ghost, we can actually help out with that. We have done it.
Oh, wow.
Wow, an exorcism.
Okay.
I don't want to get rid of these ghosts yet. I'm trying to get these more footage, but I do appreciate that.
Okay. And Nina has her own thoughts. She talked a little bit about the drone situation that I am really surprised that all the mainstream news picked up the way that it did. I hit it hard the first couple of days. So I thought nobody else was going to talk about it. I turned around, I'm like, hey, everybody talking about it.
Well, it's really
it's all over the place.
It's starting to really freak people out. I had to talk to 2 people in my personal life yesterday, trying to calm them down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I think it's very weird, and the longer it goes, the odder it's getting. And you can't leave the people guessing this long.
Yeah.
It's creating too many conspiracy theories now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really want to not trust the government this much?
Yeah, I think the government has had a bad run of things here as of late, and they need to, I think, get some lessons and some PR.
Well, the first thing I think about is that red balloon that was over a couple months ago, and then all of a sudden we've got all these...
The Chinese balloon?
Yeah.
I think it was white.
Yeah.
Oh, was it white? That balloon.
You're thinking of the song.
Red balloon. That balloon, and all of a sudden, it goes all over the country, and now we've got drones everywhere. Is that...
Are they connected?
Are they connected?
We don't know yet, but the thing is we lost a lot of confidence in the government with how that was handled. And so I think this is what's going on. Nina said, I'm hearing that they're searching for missing U.S. nuclear weapons. They're detecting radiation. Yeah, we kind of hit that a little bit in the whacked out news today. But yeah, if you do the deep dive stuff, and I'm still on Twitter, whatever, and you go on there and you realize that a lot of these people are just nut jobs. But yeah, that's where they're going with it. They're saying that it was a couple of nuclear warheads, about 20 of them, that were not secured when Ukraine stopped being part of the Soviet Union. And so they still have some things that are floating around out there, and they wound up on that black market. And so that might be what it is. And, if that's what it is, look, I could see where you're saying, hey, we think that there might be a nuclear bomb loose in the tri-state area around there. Then, yeah, you may not want to come out and say that, but you could say, hey, these are our drones, and we're testing things out, and we're just checking atmospheric conditions and whatnot. So that's what it is. Be patient with us, and so that's what's happening.
I'll tell you what you don't say. You don't say there's no threat, and then on the same breath go, but we don't know what it is. Because
it's a disconnect.
Well, if you don't know what it is, then how do you know
don't
it's
know
not a
that
threat?
it is or it's not a threat. Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking to us like we're dummies.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's insulting.
Yeah, they have to do better. And Jaybird had sent me this thing where, the government has kind of blown our trust in them. And there's several things. You don't have to go back too far. The one where, remember how they justified the war in Iraq 21 years ago? Where they had claimed that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction.
Yes.
And we go in there, and a lot of Americans lost their lives in a futile war that went nowhere, and it was all for nothing. So
we found out that wasn't even true.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff where people are like, all right, they don't buy it. So there's been a lot of scandal that the government has gotten caught up in. You may have to be a little bit older like me, but I still remember the Iran-Contra affair that had happened with Reagan back in the day and how that went. And that was a crazy story. And, that kind of paid itself off in that one Narcos that I was watching where they took Kiki Camarena, I think was his name. And he was, it was FBI versus CIA, basically.
Whoa.
And so he was sniffing in with the FBI, and the CIA was trying to protect and didn't want to blow their cover about the Iran-Contra thing, and they tortured this motherfucker to death.
Oh.
He was on the same team. He was just FBI and they're CIA, and that kind of started they're trying to communicate a little bit better. Be like, hey, let's not try to kill each other's agents.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Yeah. So they kidnapped him and killed him, and that was so that's the kind of stuff. Yeah, our government does all that stuff. We think we're the good guys. But these kind of things happen quite frequently.
Are we all the bad guys?
Look, humanity is the bad person.
Everybody, look, you've all got your own interests and what it is. And when you talk to people, for the most part, they can justify themselves. Now, some of them are a little skewed because some of them just say, well, we could never exist with them. And, I don't buy into that. To me, I'm from hey, let's just find a way for all of us to get along. Some people don't even go that far with me.
We want to be a melting pot.
Yes.
We cool with that.
That, to me, is what separates the good guys from the bad guys. But look, if you're protecting your family and whatever, I mean, that's the kind of tribal things that we've always done. People are always fighting over water, food, land, that kind of stuff. I mean, you go back to the beginning of humanity. That's how wars all started. It was just you trying to take care of your people.
The real enemy is humans.
It's just,
I mean, really. I mean, don't matter
humanity.
where on the planet you go, humans are always going to be a bit of a problem.
well, in many times we're just built to compete with each other. That's just how life has been set up for us. So sometimes there's not necessarily a bad guy or good guy. There's just you representing your own interests.
Much like a Cobra Kai. The lines are so blurred.
Okay.
Who's the dick? Who's the nice guy? Is it Johnny? Is it Daniel?
Okay.
You, the viewer, you decide yourself.
I think Johnny and Daniel were together when Ralph Macchio got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame the other day.
Probably. I think they've become close boys.
It was very cute to see them together celebrate.
It's a good thing they realize that they are better together. And
Absolutely.
I think when you get to where they are in age, you have appreciation, and you say, we were given a gift to be able to have this franchise, and it was a good ride. So it was fun.
To go back to the drones real quick, I don't know if you've seen the capability of some of the ones that, if they're just putting on a show, there is some massive, production that goes to these things where you can be driving down the street.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you'll see two guys fighting in the sky. And imagine not knowing that's going on. And it looks like two dudes fighting in a sky, massive over your head as you're driving down a freeway.
Yeah, I was going to start looking into that. There's companies that do it. I think I've heard that they're very expensive to do. It probably depends upon the level of production you do, but I'd had some ideas on how I wanted to use some of those drone companies.
I want to do one real bad.
Yeah, so I want to find one. I think I got something fun planned out that we could do if we could do it. But again, cost. And like I'd said, some places I had heard, because some municipalities are doing the drone shows in place of the fireworks shows.
Yes.
But I think the debate was they were saying that the price tag was about equal. I had heard in one story. I was like, damn, that much?
The video that I saw, I forget who did it, but it was the world record of the most drones released at the same time. I mean, thousands of drones.
Yeah, it's so
The
amazing.
sky show that they put on was intimidating.
Wow.
It was fucking freaky.
Yeah, it's so amazing what they do. Yeah, well, I had heard, my Buckeyes play on Saturday night. They got a big playoff game, and they were blessed with a night game, and they're going to be doing a drone show.
Oh.
So yeah, everybody does them now.
It'll look good. I mean, they're legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ryan in Lake Worth Beach said a lot of people were wondering where the United Healthcare CEO's private armed security was. There was none because he was shot in a gun-free zone. There are no concealed firearm signs everywhere. The CEO would have been charged with a crime if he pulled out his own gun and used it to defend himself against a violent threat. I have not heard that part yet. I'll have to look into that. If you don't believe me, look what happened to Daniel Penny. The dude didn't even have a gun, and he was still charged. I noticed United Healthcare disabled the comments on Google Maps and social media posts, which is typically something they do when a company, public figure, or government agency gets massive backlash. We all know it looks really, really bad when someone disables the comments, which is why I love it when it happens. After reading comments from one of their Facebook posts that wasn't disabled yet, it's pretty clear what people think. Some of the comments I took of a screenshot said, what happened in one word? Justified. Justice was done. Hopefully not the last time. This was the first. Hopefully not the last. Wow. So basically the point is, if your organization is up to something sketchy, don't disable the comments. Yeah, I know some people feel that way and they're celebrating. I'm not there with you.
I am not there. Yeah, in fact, I think the media's done kind of a shitty job. There's been a lot of condoning. And look, let's not get it twisted. That was a murder that happened.
Yeah, and he had children.
I understand there's problems with the healthcare system.
Yeah.
We can't be condoning murder. And
No.
and people, they're going to give me shit for that, but that's how I feel. I don't think it's the right message to be giving.
No, I don't either.
I think it's dangerous to be quite honest with you.
What they would say back to you, and this is not my personal opinion, but this is what I see on TikTok, is that, United Healthcare has mass murdered Americans by denying claims, just in a different murder way. And so people are like, eye for an eye.
I get the semantics behind it. Believe me. I see what you can't be gunning down people in cold murder. I'm sorry. You can hate me for saying that, but I feel passionate about that. I don't think we should be condoning shit like that.
Even though the murderer's hot?
I'm so fucking sick of the media. I'm in the media, so I'm sick of myself. But yeah, I'm sick of hearing about how this guy's hot, to be quite honest with you. I'm quite sick of this story.
Yeah.
And I know there's a big topic and conversation. It's turned political.
Oh, it has?
Everything turns political. This is quite a political issue. Oh yeah. But
I don't know.
But I don't look at it that way. I'm looking at it as
I don't look at it that way either,
the
because I don't
wrong
even know
message to
which is
send.
which.
I think it's a very important issue. I think
is.
that it brings up a very important topic. I hate that we had to have happen what we did to get to this conversation, but Tammy kind of takes it on here in her email. She said, I want to call out our healthcare system and Big Farm. Our son was diagnosed in June with a very rare autoimmune disease that causes him to bleed from his lungs, kidneys, sinuses, skin, you name it.
Oh, my gosh.
He had 3 admissions to the ICU, and Friday we were notified that his treatment was denied by the insurance company for his upcoming treatment today. Keep in mind, this is keeping our son alive. We had to go to battle with the insurance company, the pharmaceutical department, the pre-authorization department, the hospital, all the high-ups to get him this drug that should have been authorized months ago. We've driven 3 hours to get this treatment just to be told they couldn't do it. Ultimately, we fought, and after hours of phone calls, we got it approved. This should not be happening. End of rant. It's a legitimate rant, and it really needs to be looked at, and they've got to figure out. I believe that the American healthcare system needs to be dismantled and rebuilt because it is broken. So,
when you have CEOs making as much as these people make, that profit margin is not fair. And you're going to have people that are just beside themselves, pissed off when their family members die because they got denied when they paid premiums for years and years and years as a healthy individual.
you know, I had said it the other day. There are just some industries where your CEO cannot make tens of millions of dollars. And I understand they would be like, well, we need to be competitive, find the best so that they can run the organization well. But no, when it looks like they are patting their pockets over people getting life-saving care, you can't do it. And so you've got to find people that, one, are capable, but two, see it as a mission in life. There are some good-hearted people that say, yeah, you know what, I could go over to another place and make $10 or $15 million a year, but I believe in what I'm doing. I can provide affordable health care for people, and you can pay me six figures or whatever, and I'll make a healthy salary, but I don't. The guy was worth $42 million. And how many people did not get care under his company?
Right.
When your net worth is $42 million. I think that's part of that's wrong. That doesn't compute well with me. That's part of the stuff that needs to be fixed. Michelle said, did you hear that President Trump wants to end daylight saving time? I'm not sure of the specifics, but I know y'all talk about this. I would personally love it. I work in Palm Beach County, but I live in Port St. Lucie, and by the time we get home, it's 6:30 p.m., and I can't enjoy walking the dogs. I've attached a file for Jaybird because I know how he loves dogs. The little one is my grandpa.
Aww.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've heard that. That is something that Trump wants to do, and, yeah, who knows? Maybe he can make it happen. I don't know. It's caught up, I believe, in the Senate. They've had it there, and it's going to have to go through federal. That's how it's going to have to be done. Florida's been spearheading it because we love it, because it would help our travel and tourism, because people would be out shopping later at night. And that would be fantastic for us. Now, you got to keep in mind that depending upon whether you're north or south, that is affected differently. If you're up north in the summer, you're going to have daylight longer, but in the winter, it's going to get, darker earlier. And so, some people have some feelings of that. So the latest debate, even people that agree they should get rid of flipping the times, they can't agree on, do you stay on standard or you go to daylight saving?
I don't know what it was. This year, both times it changed. It fucked me up, man. I'm still kind of reeling.
I don't like it right now because it gets dark really early.
I get tricked. I got tricked at our holiday party when I thought it was so late.
Yeah.
I looked at my phone.
I know.
5:47.
I got home at 6. I thought it was 10.
It's messing me up, dog.
Yeah, it really does. So, yeah, I'm all for it, and I would like to stay on whatever makes it light later. And I guess that's daylight saving. I'm not even sure. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. We've talked even today, earlier, we talked about the CEO from TikTok being over at Mar-a-Lago, and, what power he has. I don't know. I mean, there's checks and balances so that, a president of the United States can't run loose like a king and do things. So he can have his own opinions, but, there are still checks and balances to keep him in check. So, but, if he supports it, it's at least another check that, and he can get maybe the Senate together to get this thing, and he'll have control of the Senate. So maybe it'll finally go through when Trump gets in office. So we'll see. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see what he can do with TikTok. That's my question. Could Trump, is there a way he can do it? Because the courts, I think, are saying no to TikTok, and they're going to shut it down. I do not think the president can override what's happening in the courts. So I think I think it's still going to happen.
But it's the concept of ByteDance owning it that they're saying no to. What if ByteDance sells it to an American company? Would it change?
Yes, it would. They'd be allowed then. And that's right now where they're fighting through this, and they're both being pig-headed. The government is saying, no, you're still going to get banned, and ByteDance is saying we're not going to sell.
Because I feel, is it possible ByteDance won't sell because they've realized how much power TikTok is, and they look at that as an asset?
It's the most valuable company in the world.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, just because you're going to get money for it doesn't mean you want to sell it right off.
Right. And there may be some legitimacy, too. They do like having their fingers in the pudding, and they can keep track of
American
Americans.
movement.
Yeah.
Well, isn't
So-
that valuable?
And passions.
The more they fight and won't sell it, even despite the huge profits that they would make, it does make you a little suspect. So I do understand that. Engineer Keith had a great email he sent to us about why it is a national security threat. And it was convincing. It was a good email, Engineer Keith. Thank you. I'm very persuaded by your guys' emails, as you can see. This is a rather interesting story, too, that I thought was kind of fun. Donald Trump Jr., who, is always there front and center with his dad, kind of quietly happened. Have you seen his fiancée, Kimberly Guilfoyle?
Yeah.
Yeah. They broke up.
Yes.
They broke up?
They did.
I didn't know that.
Wasn't he holding hands with somebody else?
Okay, this is where it's interesting, yes.
It's juicy.
This is where it's fun. And this is what happens when your daddy is president. So Donald Trump Jr. has been with Kimberly Guilfoyle. She was on Fox News. She was on the 5 and all those kind of things for a long time. And they've been together now for 6 years. And so she got out of that game. She's like, all right, I'm going to go hang with the Trumps and, it's all going to be cool. And so they got a $9.7 million home in Admiral's Cove, in Jupiter.
But they didn't get married.
No, they're only engaged because Donald Trump Jr., he was getting divorced at the time they got together. And he's got 5 kids with his ex-wife, Vanessa.
Gotcha.
And so they were kind of maybe pumping the brakes on that. Now, Kimberly Guilfoyle, she used to be married to California Governor Gavin Newsom. So, and he's a big figure that is, he's maybe the top dog Democrat. She was with one of the top dog Republicans. So it's all kind of fascinating.
Wow, that is fascinating. I didn't know all that.
So they have split up, and Jaybird is correct. Now Donald Trump Jr. has been seen with this Bettina Anderson. She is a Palm Beach socialite. I was checking through all of her photos, and she's in some photos with people that we know. I'm like, okay, so she's, kind of loosely based in our circles. So he starts hanging with her. But the problem is you got Kimberly Guilfoyle still kind of kicking around. Here she is. It's like, Dad, I really want to dump this bitch and hang out with this socialite, but what can I do? He's like, you know what? We'll send her to Greece and have her be the ambassador. He's sending her overseas, so Kimberly Guilfoyle is going to Greece.
She's going to live there?
She is going to now go to Greece, so that's how he got rid of his ex. He just had Daddy appoint her to be an ambassador of Greece, and she gone, so now he gets to bang his socialite all over Palm Beach.
How much does that job pay to be the ambassador to Greece? And is she just like, sweet, all right, I'll go away. I'll go live in Greece and date some hot Greek man?
What I wanted to know was, what is the negotiation like? Because I'm sure there was, all right, we're separating. We got a house together. How's this going to look? She's like, I want something.
Give me something good.
And then, and I've even seen this just in like TV shows and movies, but it was always, I can't remember what show it was, but it was a debate about, I want an ambassadorship, and he was going back and forth about what country you give me.
Wow.
No, I'm gonna go. And they kept trying to give him a shitty country. He's like, no, I want this country. So I think that those are all negotiables. Greece would be a pretty sweet ass place to live.
Greece is tits.
We can
Right.
break up, but I want a mansion in Greece.
Yeah, so to me, I just want to know, what was that negotiation like? Because Kimberly Guilfoyle is like, all right, so your son's going to dump me for a Palm Beach socialite. I'm not going to go quietly. So I need this ambassadorship. And I don't think it's about how much they make, but you have the influence now. You know how when you get a job, you get to a level?
Yes.
And then when you get to that level, then you start getting bigger jobs.
Yes.
Like, what's his name? He was the Palm Beach County Mayor, Moskowitz. He is now looking like he's going to be the director of FEMA.
Wow.
So, it's all about climbing the ladder. So you get up there, and then eventually, you make the big bucks. And
Greece today, France tomorrow.
Right. So that's how you kind of climb out. You start by being a councilman, then you're a county mayor, then you're caught up in the mixed, and he just happened to be at the right county, Palm Beach, where Trump is, and he's going to be the highest-ranking Democrat in Trump's cabinet there. So impressive stuff. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting little local tabloidy
Very
type story.
local.
So keep an eye out for them. They're playing Kissy Face all over Palm Beach. Yeah, we heard earlier about this dude. He's tired of his wife. She keeps booking all their destinations and vacations at Disney, and he's just kind of over it. And it did kind of bring up, they call them Disney adults, I guess. And I mean, it seriously is causing some problems because they're going to take another vacation in April. And she wanted to go back to Disney. He's like, I want to go on a cruise. And she's like, she got upset. She stormed away. But then she's like, Disney cruise. She books it. He got pissed. He's like, no, I'm just tired of everything Disney. Can we do something that's not Disney? And so he refused to go. She's taking a girlfriend, which, I mean, this just sounds like it gets troubling when you have that.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah, it sounds like they're going to be breaking up soon.
I mean, they've been married for like 13 years or something. So they've been together for a while. It'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean, if you're a Disney adult, then I don't know. If your whole life, if everything you want to do in your downtime is Disney and somebody's like,
Your husband's over it. Like, he played along when you guys were new in the relationship, but he's telling you he doesn't like Disney anymore.
Yeah.
So to force him to keep going to Disney is just a little psychotic.
Angie's saying you knew that she was a Disney adult when you married her. No, it wasn't to that level. I think the first time that they gone to Disney was on the honeymoon and she got the bug. She got hooked. I don't know what happened or what they put in her milkshake, but...
Well, I've seen that happen in some of my friends that have been together for a while. They change. Like 7 years in, they all of a sudden get a new hobby or something, and they go balls to the wall on it, and it's a new thing for their mate to kind of deal with.
Yeah.
If your personality changes after the marriage, you can't expect the other person just to be like, all right, I guess we're Disney adults now. If he's not feeling it, he went 9 times.
Look, you definitely go to Disney stuff. You compromise.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to, have some fun together.
Let him pick a town, then you pick a town. Then he picks a town, then you pick a town. You can't monopolize the whole vacation every time and be about you and Disney.
Well, imagine if Panda wanted to go to adult space camp. That was his thing. You guys, you were nice. You went 4 or 5 different times, and then he's like, let's go to a space camp again, babe.
This hooker would go once.
You would be so miserable.
I would go once if it was really important to him and he wanted to do it so bad, so bad, so bad. I would go to space camp once, and then I would be like, okay, we're done, because you know about my stance on space.
And who knows, maybe she gets really annoying when she's all Disneyed out. When she gets, oh my God, it's Pluto! Like maybe she gets like
What he said, it's the exact same thing. He said they wear the ears, they get the ice cream, they take the photo in front of the castle, and they've done that 9 times. He's like, it's the exact same vacation every time.
I mean, we want to switch it up. Stop being so boring. Let's go do some other things and see some other parts of the world.
Oh, but there's Goofy. Oh my God.
That would, I could not
9
be.
times.
I
They don't
couldn't
have
be the
kids.
Disney adult. It wouldn't work for me.
If they were so enthusiastic, you would fucking hate it.
Yeah, it would not. I'd be like, who am I with? It wouldn't click with me. David said, grown adults that have no children but are still infatuated with anything Disney and visit the parks have a mental health issue.
I disagree with that.
I disagree with that.
I disagree with
You
that.
can be normal and love Disney, but you just have to find a partner that is on the same page.
Just keep it in check.
And if you've got one that doesn't want to keep going to Disney every year, you can't be a terrorist.
Yeah.
But there's Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Right. Yeah, I would say they need to either alternate vacations or they just got to take separate ones, if they can't compromise.
That's a sign of a healthy marriage. Hey, we're not going to take vacation separately.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It's not healthy.
I had a buddy of mine argue that it's fine. He and his wife did it, and I was like, all right. And then they divorced 5 years later.
See?
Yeah, I think it can happen every now and then, but if you're constantly taking vacations away from your mate and you guys can't get a connect on that, it's kind of odd.
You should be allowed to take like girls trip and boys trip. Like if he wants to go with his buddies to watch football, I'm fine with that. If I want to go with my girls to spa vacation, he's fine with that. It's the family trips. It's the things that you do that are generically like supposed to be togetherness.
Yeah.
Like if those are always separate, then that's weird.
My family's main bonding is vacations. That's when we don't worry about work and all that stuff, and we just spend time together, and I can actually focus on my family and
it's lovely.
yeah, not tell them to shut up.
Because shut up, Daddy's working.
Yes, it's not as it doesn't really bring the hearts together. But yeah, so if you could never take a vacation together and have that time to connect, then yeah, it is problematic, I would think. Katie did clarify, Disney allows you to bring your own alcohol on board on their cruise lines, along with serving it at multiple locations. So yeah, we had to get that settled.
Okay, you can bring your own
Yeah,
stuff.
you
That's-
can get your buzz on, but you can't gamble it.
What
apparently.
about, is Mickey cool with some Wonder joints?
That's an interesting. Yeah, I don't know how that works if you're a weed person.
I think you're supposed to smuggle. You're not supposed to like declare it.
Even if you're legal?
I don't think
Oh, you're right. It's
everywhere.
not Florida.
Everywhere is
yeah.
not the same.
You're right. I thought we were going to lawless waters.
Well, you will for a while.
But if they want to still say we don't allow it, they still have that option. to
They
say don't
do. I
allow
think
it.
they say no drugs because I've read the policy.
Yeah.
Trust me on this one. You have to smuggle.
So no Wonder joints for you, Mickey.
And I had announced earlier that FAU Stadium is going to be getting a name change. Boy, they've been changing a lot. Remember earlier I had that announcement where they're not going to be known as FAU anymore. They want to be Florida Atlantic.
Yes.
So they're changing that branding, and now they're going to change. It's not FAU Stadium, which I realized was going to be problematic. They sold it, I think, for $22 million over 15 years to Flagler Credit Union. So it's Flagler Credit Union Stadium, but fans typically abbreviate stuff. So some thoughts here in this email. You can go with FCU Stadium. Or you could go with just Fuck You Stadium.
It really could be fuck you.
Wait, FAU's now FCU and FU? What?
FCU, Flagler Credit Union Stadium. And they're like, yeah, just do the FCU, Fuck
boy.
You Stadium.
That's kind of fun.
That might be what the fans call it, yeah. Hey, we're playing at Fuck You Stadium this weekend. I kind of feel like that's how that needs to go. We got a good name for you guys.
It's intimidating.
Yeah. All right. My plans, I'll see with the weather, but the Boca Bowl is tomorrow at Fuck You Stadium, which is going to rain. So that's the ultimate fuck you. Yeah. So there you go. We'll
No
see how
one
that
wants a
goes.
rainy bowl game.
No. All right, y'all. Thanks for the email. Send them to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. We'll talk to you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.